Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and a warm welcome to 18th edition of Emirates NBD Global Business Series, one of its kind initiative by Intelligent SME that seeks to inspire entrepreneurs and business executives with profound business insights from the most successful leaders in the region. We acknowledge that this success, impact, and reach wouldn't have been possible without the consistent support of our sponsors. A heartfelt thank you to our title sponsor, Emirates NBD Business Banking, to our sole automobile partner, Al Futtaim Motors Toyota, and also our strategic alliance partner, Dubai SME. Before we start this session, I would like to inform you all, SPI Group would be hosting an interesting and innovation event in this region, the third edition of Global Innovation Summit on 1st September 2015 at Jumeirah Beach Hotel. We encourage you to join us for this grand celebration of innovation and phenomenal breakthrough in the field of technology. You can log on to innovationsummit.ae for further information and registration details. Without much ado, let's kickstart the felicitation ceremony. Could I please request Mr. Thumbay Moideen, our guest of honor for the evening, to join us on the dais. Thank you, sir. Now may I request Mr. Aladdin DC, Head of Distribution, Emirates NBD Business Banking, to come on stage and do the honors. Also, I would request the CEO of SPI Group, Shantanu Vansalkar, to come on stage and join them. Thank you, everyone. Let's move ahead and start the session. Our moderator for this evening is Mr. Tariq Qureshi. He is the founder and a CEO of Vantage Holding. He is also the founder and CEO of 100% MAD, not-for-profit social enterprise. Tariq's media and broadcast experience includes radio, TV, print, and he is a speaker, panelist, and moderating specialized conferences internationally. Last but not definitely the least, I would like to inform you all that we would be live tweeting the highlights of this session using the hashtag GBS_insights. Request you all to use the same handle and share with us your experience of tonight. May I request Mr. Tariq Qureshi to take this session further. Thank you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How are you? Feeling good? Energy is not that good. We need to get it going. Okay, let's do something completely different today. You haven't seen this before because a lot of you are friends who have come several times before. May I then request you, please, to do two things. We will stand up and from a table other than your own table, go and say hello to somebody else and do two things. Firstly, say something really nice to them, and then they'll say thank you very much, and then we introduce yourself for 20 seconds. But it'll start the energy flowing. So, for example, I will work with Aladdin here and say, I absolutely love what you're wearing today, sir. It's wonderful. And then you can introduce yourself to me.
You look great in purple.
Purple, exactly. And that's it. And all we need to do is to move a little bit, get some circulation. The idea of this thing is to have our energies high and enjoy a wonderful, wonderful story that we will be sharing with Mr. Moideen Thumbay today. So off you go. 2 minutes. Say hello, move around, connect with people, say hi. But please say something nice to them.
How are you? Thank you. My pleasure, sir. Trying to meet someone there.
Hi, my name is Tarek Qureshi.
I'm gonna tweet about you now.
Okay, you should. Thank you very much. You're looking lovely. Nancy, wonderful. You have?
And I used to be sure.
Welcome. I'll give you my card. What have I started? I hope you enjoyed it. It's the most fun we've had starting a session. I know ending sessions we have a lot of fun, but thank you for being so sporting and engaging in this, because part of what we're doing here today is actually getting the SMEs together, is actually connecting with people. So that's the starting point. Today is a very special day. It's a very interesting story. And it's about Mr. Moideen Thumbay. He is the founder and the CEO of the group, of Thumbay Group. And he has a village called, it actually comes from a village called Thumbay. So he has the third generation of people from his family within business. But the story is not about Thumbay, and the story is not about his family in India. The story today is how he came to the UAE not very long ago and fundamentally changed the business that he was in, and how he defined that space. And interestingly enough, unlike a lot of people who have been, the last 18 people, 17 people who have been here in this series, unlike those who came in 20, 30, 40 years ago, in case of Dr. Shetty, 43 years ago, who actually comes from the same part of the world and 1 hour's drive from Thumbay village. So they are old friends. In his case, he only came here in 1998, which is very, very recent in terms of the way we look at some of these legends that have come into this forum. So it's a very interesting story and how it happened, and we will share that. Let me share a few pictures about his childhood. Lovely pictures from his old days, his mother, his family. When you look at these pictures, sir, what do you feel? What goes in your head? What goes through your mind? What is going through your mind right now? What are you thinking?
Good feelings, you know. I grew up in a nice family.
Yeah.
It was a joint family.
Right.
That's how families were in the south of India. So my family must have had at least 50 people living in that house.
Right.
So it was very interesting and very nice.
So you grew up in an environment, lots of brothers and sisters and cousins and so on. So how did that shape you in your early days of your life?
You know, I grew in a family where I had many role models.
Mm-hmm.
Like my grandfathers, both my grandfathers were Moideens.
Yes.
My maternal grandfather's name was also Moideen. He was in timber business.
Right.
My paternal grandfather's name was also Moideen. He was also in shipping business.
Okay.
These people, my father, my uncles, all very successful people. So we looked up to them. You know, they were like role models. We
Right.
sat with them, had lunch with them, spoke about business, challenges, difficulties. So we learnt a lot of things from them. Good things about them. They were all family-oriented people. They were very generous people, helping people. And most important, they were successful people, you know, in whatever they did.
Did that set the foundation for you, your foundation of your values and what holds you together today? Did it actually start there? Or was it much, much later through your education or through your parents?
I'm sure my family, I'm talking of my grandfathers,
Yes.
influenced my life, you know.
Right.
They were known for being ethical and straightforward in their business.
Okay, excellent. Here's another picture of you going to school. These are more pictures from his school days. We do this to really start humanizing the person here, because we all come from the same environment. We go to school. We actually have those experiences and those memories. And today is about telling a story and about sharing memories. Any memories there, sir?
That was me. I was just maybe 8 years old, and that was my first public speech. It was the
Okay.
inauguration of a factory in Mangalore. So they wanted me to do the welcome address. You know, you see the ministers.
Yeah.
That was my first.
So
And
what were you
this is,
talking about?
I went to Delhi to meet Indira Gandhi. I was sitting there in
Right.
the front row. Yeah.
Okay. And what were you speaking about? I mean, did you enjoy public speaking?
I think they wrote a speech for me. I read it out.
You read it out. Okay. That's a little birthday cake. Who was that?
That's my only sister. We are 3 brothers, and I had
Okay.
a small sister called Shabana. She's here in Sharjah now.
Okay.
She was the most petted member of the family.
So everybody spoiled her.
Yes.
Okay. So you're lifting a truck there. I know you you like doing that.
This was during my college days. You know, I was a typical college student.
You had long hair. I had hair like that, by the way. You might not believe it, but I had hair down to here. So there's a tiger in your youth. Your first cigarette.
That picture is in Papua New Guinea when I signed the first contract with the forest minister.
Okay.
The contract was worth $10 million. And I was just, it was in 1986, so I was 29 years old then.
Right.
This was my wedding picture, you know, the elephant garlanded me. You see the old Mercedes.
Right. This one you're flying a helicopter?
I used to travel for my timber business in Africa, in
Right,
Papua New
right.
Guinea.
Yeah.
Those days there were no roads connecting cities,
Right.
so we had to take helicopters, you know. So I used to travel by small planes or.
But did you fly? Did you fly?
Yeah, I used to fly. Yeah.
Oh, brilliant. Early days in the UAE, and we'll. Okay. And then we get into the business side, sir. So I just wanted to share the early stories. Please, sir, I'll come and join you there. One of the things I'd like to talk about today is that in the early days, you built your life and your business in your dad's and your family's timber business. And you were almost 40 by the time you came here.
Yes.
And you reinvented yourself.
Yes.
Can you give us that story? How do you take this thing through?
You know, when I think back about my career, my life itself, you know, I feel definitely God had plans for me. It was not my own plan or.
Yeah, you can talk to them, yeah.
When I think about the timber business I did,
Yeah.
I was very successful. When I was young, I joined my father's business when I was 21. I was an educated chap. Timber business is not easy. Very tough business in India. Or I go to Papua New Guinea, I go to Malaysia, I went to Nigeria, we were in Tanzania. I traveled all over the world. No, 2-3 things happened. It really exposed me. You know, I learned to deal with people. I learned different cultures. I learned to carry myself, and also deal with difficult situations with politicians, business people, banking. I never knew what was LCs those days. I learned what was a letter of credit and how to do business with shipping, how to engage a ship, charter a ship. So I learned it. I was seasoned in it, and I loved to work. I never complained that I'm working on a Sunday or a Friday here. I enjoyed working. So it seasoned me. It made me very strong.
The reason I want to ask, somebody who comes from a wonderful family, you've got a nice big home, all the comforts that you ever need. What was your motivation? What kept you going? Because you could just have chilled out, done your dad's job, and that's it.
I don't know. From my very young age, I used to see my grandfather successful and doing well. So I used to be very charged up. I need to succeed. In fact, my father, he used to ask me, why the hell do you work like this?
Yes.
But I said I have to do it. I used to travel a lot, work hard, no timing from morning till evening.
Right.
Yeah. And luckily for me, I had a good family. My wife supported me. She traveled with me wherever I went. Both my sons went to a boarding school in India.
Right.
To the Lawrence School in Ooty.
Right.
So she traveled with me, gave me company.
Tell me about your wife.
Very interesting,
Yeah. Tell me about your wife. Because one of the statements I have made here that behind every great man, there's an even greater woman supporting him. Please tell us about your wife.
My wife is an educated lady. She's related to me. She's my cousin.
I see.
We married within the family.
Yeah.
So she's an artist by profession. She
Right.
paints. It's a lovely painting she does in my university. But she's mainly managing the home. She
Right.
calls herself I'm a homemaker. Yeah. But from my beginning, she's brought up in a business family. She knew men work, and she supported me that way all the time. Difficult times, stood by me.
One of the things in my research I read was that one of the things that she shares with you is to actually capture the moment and live in the moment. Do you remember that statement? That she feels that rather than going all over the place, live in the moment and grow from there. I found that very, very interesting to read. Can you share something about that?
I don't remember this.
No? Okay, fine. This was Gulf News. So they actually wrote it in Gulf
no,
News.
I don't
Maybe
know.
they created this thing, okay. Because I thought it was really nice because, you know, say rather than, because in our culture, it's all about building future and so on. But the statement there was that she guided you and said, live in the moment and the challenge is in the moment, and therefore that's where you balance.